and 2 arms, or 4 legs, plus their other bits. It's why, despite decidui and Quackquafal both...
This one time I was watching my favourite YouTuber, Dead Bedspread, and he was talking about Pokemon, but then the screen went black and his avatar turned to face the screen, and then his eyes became hyper-realistic and started bleeding, and then the music stopped, and then he ran towards the camera.
Okay. Who am I? Well, I'm the detective, and I'll be your chauffeur through this mess. I've been in the business for many years, worked on many cases, got reports of anomalies, you know, your typical ghost stories, nothing you'd bat an eye at. Until out of the blue, some photographer and her protege go viral after snapping a picture of one of these oddities somewhere out east. The Blood Moon Beast, they called it. A member of a species thought to have gone long extinct from a far-off land. I guess this one survived. And boy, was he pissed. I decided to start looking into such anomalies. Single individual members of Pokemon species who have gone through such unique hardships that they have permanently adapted into completely altered forms. They're not legendaries, but they're certainly not regular either. What I have seen is not for the faint of heart. These creatures we live with, they're incredible, and so very dangerous. Reports tell of a mysterious disturbance in the Hoenn region's Petalburg woods. Commuters between the two cities have noticed a dwindling population of the local Pokemon, alongside an unknown, sinister, violent figure, completely unseen except for its bright, glowing eyes. Reports tell of a cave that mysteriously appeared on Route 103 nearly 20 years ago. Up until that point, nobody had heard anything of it, until it suddenly showed up out of the blue. No massive geological event to tip anyone off that it was even there. How long it had been around before people noticed? Nobody knows. The aptly named Altering Cave was completely empty, for all but Zubat. Not even interesting structures of rock, no gems, no natural erosion, not even any items trainers usually find while spelunking. Just like a weird big room in the side of a mountain. I contacted a local professor specializing in Pokemon habitats and distribution, and he had determined that the cave was once home to many Pokemon, ranging from Shuckle to Stantler to Smeargle. Mind you, he had done this years ago. Because of my recent visits to the region, there is no geographical evidence that the cave ever existed in the first place. Wiped clean off the face of the earth. Gone. As for our mysterious Petalburg prowler, there is one theory. One of the cave-dwelling Pokemon found in Hoenn is the mysterious Sableye, its diet consisting of rare gems. The theory goes that one particularly ravenous Sableye scoured the cave of every suitable rock and gem, becoming so starved that it turned its attention to consuming the local Pokemon, starting with ripping out the gems found in its own kind, and moving on to Shuckle's rocky exterior before continuing to consume flesh in general. It would explain why the cave was only home to Zubat, the only Pokemon capable of flying away from the feeding frenzy. The creature left the cave in order to search for new prey, having its refractive eyes absorb vast quantities of sunlight, which it can expel back at its opponents, incapacitating them while it moves in for the final blow. As for the cave appearing and disappearing, it is still unknown to this very day. Rumor says something similar has opened up in the Sevi Islands. Let's just hope they get it under control before it unleashes anything else into the world. What locals suspected to have started out as an innocuous prank by children has quickly turned from trivial into a full-on conspiracy. Venturing to Pony Island in the Alola region, I was investigating reports of a quite literal ghost ship. Local children reportedly excitedly pointed out a ship on the horizon to their parents, but either through general disinterest or assuming it was simply one of the other thematic boats docked at the pier, no one over the age of 18 has seemed to notice. That is, until said children started to go missing. I've spent days here at the beach with no sightings of any ship. Kids have been excited, scared, all looking out to sea, pointing, standing right next to me, yet they can seemingly see it and I'm left dumbfounded. Is this a massive prank that's just gotten out of hand? Am I simply out of touch? One child took it upon themselves to help with the investigation, drawing up and showing me a picture of what this supposed ghost ship looks like, and then it all fell into place. What appeared to be a sentient ship with a sinister grin can logically be explained as an individual Delmise ditching its anchor for a relatively intact shipwreck. Shipwrecks might not be all too uncommon, sure, but one so intact that it's still capable of seafaring? I mean, I wouldn't even blame the Delmise. Upgrading your anchor to a full-on ship? First come, first served. While children are going missing, it's entirely possible that when the ship nears shore, they board it willingly. I mean, think about it. If you were a kid and a sentient pirate ship beckoned you on board, would you give it a second thought? Especially if it swings on by a second time with some of your friends already on board. Plus, a ship needs crewmates. You gotta remember, kids these days are leaving home at 10 years old. Every region has had a miner become champion. Maybe this is simply Delmise teaching parents a lesson and paying more attention to their kids. Once a popular trading destination, the seafolk village is all but abandoned while the search for the boat continues. Families have left lit candles on the docks for some reason, supposedly some to lure the boat, some to send wishes to their lost children, dubbing the Pony Island port as Candle Cove. And I gotta say, regardless of what all the children around me are saying, I just don't see it. The Kanto region. No stranger to ghosts and white hens in its infamously infamous Lavender Town. Whole town got a makeover thanks to a government grant after all the Team Rocket corruption was taken care of by that one kid. I gotta say though, it never struck me the right way that they demolished the high-rise graveyard and turned it into a radio tower. Surely any of the neighboring urban areas would have suited better. House of Memories. It's like trying to fit a mausoleum in a coffee cup. Citizens of Lavender Town have recently reported hearing unusually high frequencies emanating from the tower at night, resulting in headaches, irritability, even illnesses and afflictions, although any of this is yet to be confirmed. Still worth checking out. Pouring through local news, local accounts, posts on social media, I noticed something strange atop the tower, and suddenly, it all made sense. Remember Team Flare and Kalos? After their big bad leader hit the hay, members disbanded across the world. Sometimes these grunts take the opportunities to move on to a new life, starting fresh, but others seemingly just can't leave the lifestyle of crime that they fit so well into. We had cases a while back of one particular member, what was his name, Jeffrey, I think? He was a right piece of work. Moved to Kanto after Flare's collapse and immediately started causing trouble with the few remnants of Team Rocket that remained. Crimes happen, it's nothing new, but upon seeing the picture I remembered that he did have a very particular Noibat. It wasn't any sort of regional variant I'd ever seen, not even a shiny, but its skin was bleached white, and its ears emitted sound waves like nothing I'd ever heard. Stuff that'd drive you mad. Last I knew, Jeff was taken in by the international police, but I guess his partner Pokemon got loose, maybe even possibly released, eventually ended up evolving, and is now causing chaos on his behalf. My guess is that it's using the radio tower to amplify its sonic abilities. For what purpose? Who knows? Maybe to return Lavender Town back to the dark and dire place it once was. A lot of the cases I've been assigned to thus far have had very logical explanations once you delve into them. A specific Pokemon that goes through a massively harrowing lifestyle shift, adapts, and takes on a new form. That said, I've gotten reports from all over about what struck me as potentially being a brand new species. Middle of any normal mundane day, out the corner of your eye, people claim to be seeing Pikachu, but totally unmoving with these blank, glowing white eyes, to then suddenly disappear when faced head-on, leaving witnesses questioning if they even saw it in the first place. Literally blink and you'll miss it type stuff. Luckily, sightings of this anomaly have been captured within photographs where they were not the intended subject. Pikachu has been known to evolve into alternate variants depending on its diet, but this is something new entirely. It doesn't even strike me as Mimikyu. As creepy as they are, they love the attention, so why would they make it almost impossible to see them? Basing its appearance off a Pokemon native to Kanto, I contacted the scientists who used to work in the lab on Cinnabar Island, before it exploded. I didn't even quite understand what those guys were talking about, but from what I gathered, apparently the east coast of the island has had a history of seemingly breaking the laws of reality, resulting in some absolute anomalies appearing back before the volcano erupted. They suggested this creature might have something to do with the creation of Porygon and sending Pokemon into cyberspace. Maybe cyberspace has sent something back. I'm still looking for answers. Maybe this thing is too. It's really no surprise that the laboratories of those who openly deal with criminals would hold some dark secrets. Ether Paradise, the synthetic island of Alola, home to the Ether Foundation and all of their history. At least, it was a paradise, before whatever happened. It came out a few years back that the head of the foundation was cryogenically freezing Pokemon alive for some sort of sick delusion of vanity. In order to willingly freeze the Pokemon, they would have to be lulled into a tired state by some other force. The Ether Branch Chief, Faba I think his name was, had access to Hypno. Whether this particular Hypno was his ace or just one that they used down in the labs is all speculative. Presumably, this is the Pokemon that they used to induce sleep in the subjects they wanted to freeze. Immoral actions have worse consequences because somehow, through these diabolical trials, it seems that Hypno's abilities backfired, hypnotizing itself, leaving it permanently awake. The Ether Foundation created 3 of the Pokemon type Null. 1 was taken by the chairwoman's son, 1 remains with the region's champion, but what about the 3rd? The international police were looking to confiscate it from the labs in order to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands. However, once they arrived to seize it, it was no longer in a usable state. The footage recovered reveals Hypno breaking out of the labs, subduing anyone who stood in its way, and dismantling the legendary Pokemon with ease. Its current whereabouts are a mystery. It's theorized that looking into this Hypno's eternally spinning pendulum will put you in a deep coma. It has apparently been sighted roaming through the Kanto region, resulting in a young boy from Pallet Town falling into a comatose state after encountering the creature face to face. I headed out to the Kalos region to look into a missing persons case. It said that she ventured into the Winding Woods over a week ago, still no clues left about her whereabouts. Apparently she used to head there with a notebook all the time to write short stories. Nothing out of the blue, nobody batted an eye. The locals have also reported feeling a previously unfelt dark presence emanating from the forest. Some sort of powerful Pokemon keeping a hostage, perhaps? The international police are scouring the forest strategically from one end to the other. Whatever this presence is, would be able to see coming from a mile away. I'm gonna head to the opposite end of the area now, to see what I can recover. As I usually do with these cases, I'll be setting out at the start of the day with my trusty Rotom recorder to keep track of what I might find.
Voice log 1. I've arrived at the scene, it's about 8 AM, sun's still coming up. Looker and his gang are sweeping the north of the forest near Snowbelt City. I've just come in from the south. I had to jump over a few fences to get here. Scuffed my jacket too. What else is new? I'll update with my progress. Here's hoping I don't run into and spook one of the officers. Voice log 2. Yeah, they call it the Winding Woods for a reason. I'll be keeping track of things I'm seeing in order to get back. I just passed an abandoned blue truck and a caravan. There was another old red pickup truck a while back. Have more people gone missing here than we thought? My recorder seems to be messing up. It might be that dark presence that the locals mentioned. You know, come to think of it, I haven't seen a single Pokemon roaming around in quite a while. Voice log 4, about 2 hours have passed since I entered. I've just found what may be evidence. It's a page from a notebook with some trees in it and an odd figure. Could this have been drawn by our missing person? I'm gonna head in deeper and see what I find. Voice log 6. Yeah, I found another one of those pages with the words, always watches, no eye. These are striking me more as warnings rather than clues. And I swear, I've only been here 4 hours, but it seems that the sun is starting to go down already. There's also a fog rolling in, and I do want to go deeper, but I'm not going to be able to see anything with all of this fog. I'm going to head back and report what I've found. Also, despite not seeing any Pokemon, I'm definitely being watched. Just not sure by who. Voice log 7, so strike me confused, but I walked past our abandoned caravan from earlier to just end up walking past it again. Unless I didn't. And I'm sure. Damn, recorder is glitching out on me too. Hopefully these recordings stay intact so I can keep track of exactly what happened. Okay, voice log 9. There's definitely something following me. Sun's gone down and that fog's rolled in, so I can't really get a view. It's almost man-shaped, but it's way too tall. I called out to him, but no answer. It's always keeping its distance. It never moves when I look directly at it, but it's definitely moving whenever I look away. Also, I'm damn sure by now that I've passed this caravan multiple times. What else would you expect from the Winding Woods? Voice log 9. It's in the trees. like it is a tree with roots for like and branches for armor. It's something. I swear. I don't know. It's messing with my electronics. You know, I'll take this thing on if needs be. Unless it's somehow able to jam the signal to my Pokeball. Voice log 6. Following. Where the hell am I? Where the hell am I? Sure. Why did they do this to me? Why did they do this? Always watch. No. Can't run. No. Leave me alone. No. Don't look or I'll take you. Help me.
What on God's good green flat earth is this? Spaghetti and meatballs? What is this, some sort of sick joke? What is this music? Why does it keep getting louder? The music plays, that goddamn music, it's enough to drive a man mad. Get out. It's pizza time!